All right, man, Torture Talk. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody come on in. Yeah, man, come on in. Look, man. All right, man. Good morning, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm the new alarm clock, nigga. All right, man, so today I'm going to be talking about Tyler, the Creator, and him talking about the state of hip-hop and all that good stuff. I'm going to be watching a video from Fantastic Hip-Hop, I believe. And yeah, so before I get into that, you know I gotta get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you're not subscribed and you consider subscribing, let me work for your subscription. If you are subscribed, thank you for subscribing. All the beautiful ladies, single ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. You know what time it is. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content, and that is free. If you want to leave a donation, links will be right on the screen as well as in the description, Cash App, PayPal, all that good stuff. You don't have to leave one, just letting you know. It's up to you. And if you don't, it's cool too. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They called me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to almost 9,000. And yeah, I'm trying to get this thing up to 10,000 by the end of next week. Hopefully I could get past that. Maybe I could get 12. But, you know, so I ain't going to do much talking. Let me know where you from, too, also. Without further ado, let's get into it, man. All right, so let's go, man.
Now, after a time where so much of the rap world has just made a mockery of what the genre stands for, one of the most acclaimed, gifted, and respected rappers of the modern era has finally spoken up and called out all of the musical grifters running around and trying to sell themselves off as rappers, as in a recent interview. None other than Tyler, the Creator, bashed the current state of hip-hop for so many reasons that the world needed to hear from an artist of his magnitude, and now while some people have accused Tyler of doing this for attention or as a result of him becoming bitter and out of touch with the ever-changing trends in hip-hop. When you look at everything Tyler says and just how nuanced and detailed he gets when it comes to this warning shot he has given to the entire rap world, you can see that what he is saying is so much more than just some shade being thrown out, because with everything he has had to say, he isn't dissing other rappers to start beef or drama, but he is fighting to preserve the very identity of what hip-hop and really music culture stands for in a way.
All right, so there's a couple of different things how I feel about this. I didn't see the interview yet, but I'm just going to go off of what he's saying right now. I am going to go watch the interview, but I do know Tyler Creator's character from Odd Future to, you know, him, Earl Sweatshirt, and your boy, what's his name? You know, I know its name. I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. I do know Odd Future. They were a pretty good group. I liked Odd Future. You know what I'm saying? Frank Ocean. I liked them. I thought they was pretty good. I always thought that Earl Sweatshirt was the better rapper out of them. Well, obviously Frank Ocean doesn't rap. At least he didn't rap mostly. Maybe he did a couple of joints. I don't know. I didn't hear that. But and he always been outspoken. There's certain things that I think that Tyler, the Creator, said that I totally disagree with. And sometimes I think he did a lot of trolling, but at this point now, if people don't believe him, I can understand why. Because he went on a whole campaign dissing Bruno Mars for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, let's get to it.
And now as we dive deeper into everything Tyler has said in one of the most crazy and viral interviews that has come from any rapper in quite some time. By the end of it all, you will be even more shocked about everything than you would think on the surface, because the way Tyler pulls the curtain and exposes everyone, it will really have you questioning the entire landscape of the music industry and the people who are being positioned to spearhead the future of hip-hop. So now with this Tyler, the Creator interview, as he spoke with Maverick Carter, Tyler went on a rant where he came at so much of what has been dominating the hip-hop landscape over the past few years, and now specifically addressing everything in the rap world that before the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, really had people questioning the long-term stability of rap music as a whole. Tyler had 3 main points about everything horrible going on in the rap world right now that, when he connected, put together a shocking picture that in most eras would be any rapper's worst nightmare, and now to begin to address this problem that so many current rappers are seemingly a part of. The first thing Tyler talked about is the pure intent behind so many of the people making music today, which, as he described, is no longer about putting compelling art into the world and instead is more about posing as a musician to be treated as such by the industry. But then,
I mean, but that right there. See, the thing about Tyler is he's playing with fire because he has a sketchy past of doing trolly things, just like what he's talking about. He did that. And it wasn't really I'm not saying that Tyler's not a good artist. Obviously he is. He's a very good artist and he's a very good rapper. But he did a lot of things that hip hopsters or real people of hip hop, real hip hopsters would not agree with. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying he's trying to fight to preserve the essence of hip hop, but he did the same things that destroyed hip hop. If that make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I have to call it like it is. You know what I mean? I'm not a Tyler hater. I actually like Tyler Creator, but for you to call out them, it's like calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. Like, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Like me, like I'm black as shit. I like being black, but I'm just saying, like, it's like me calling somebody black and they like Jaimin Hantu and I'm like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the point I'm making is you can't demonize people for something that you took part in too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I'm not saying that he made hip hop fall, but my nigga, like, let's be honest here. Like, you did a lot of fuckery, like, for real.
just releasing what Tyler calls meme records. And as Tyler puts these artists on blast for pretty much exposing themselves, for showing their true nature, which is, of course, that they are making music to exploit algorithms and the digital media landscape, as opposed to creating something genuinely powerful.
But that's nothing new, though. This is nothing new. Rappers been doing that. This is the digital age of it. But before that, rappers been doing this. They called it commercial hip hop. Now people want to speak on it because maybe they're not in touch or in how would I say, in demand. It's like there's nothing you can do. These labels, they manufacture these artists. They've been doing this. Look at the top guy. The top guy is a manufactured artist. You know what I'm saying? So the top guy of sales. And then you got this other things too that come with that. Like some of these artists are beholden to the record label. They can't do anything. The record label got them to a point where they tell them this is what sells. And then on top of that, you got to also understand that some of these artists never seen this amount of money in their life, even though it's not really theirs. It's just a loan. But they never seen this. They're getting crumbs compared to what the record labels is actually making. But still in all, I mean, the fight isn't with the artists, if you ask me. But let's keep it going.
That can resonate with human beings and not machines. This is the first curtain Tyler is trying to pull in the industry by just waking people up to the fact that so many of the new rappers who have been getting pushed by the industry do not have the same intentions that all great artists historically had. And as there have been so many rappers who release music that literally just feels like a joke with how mind-numbing it is and how some people are still accepting this was very important for Tyler to.
Then you have to, this is what I'm saying. If you're going to call it out, you got to call it out. I mean, Tyler, you played a part in that too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe yours was a little more creative with it, but still, you played a part in the bullshit. Like, let's be honest here. You know what I mean? And hip hop has evolved. And this is the thing I want people to understand. Hip hop is not stagnant. It doesn't stay in a certain place. It's global now. So you're going to get people who take it and do something else with it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say, like, how do I say this? The way hip hop has been preserved for so many years, I can understand why some people are frustrated about it. But you also got to understand that it has to grow. and you might not agree with how it grows. It might grow crooked, or you might grow straight, or it might grow somewhere else, but you might not like that. But at the same time, you can't really do anything about it because the monster was already created already. So now it's in the world now. There's really nothing you can say. You could say, well, I think that they're using it, exploiting it. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. If they can do it, they're going to do that. It might be wrong. I mean, we might not like it. But if they can exploit it, they're going to do it. It's the same thing with anything. If they're going to exploit it, they can to make money off of it. That's how it goes.
Say, and just to wake people up to what is really going on right in front of them, and now building on this. Because of the nature of artists making music that aims to be a viral joke over everything else, so much of what has been released within the hip-hop space has become redundant, and more than ever, from rappers to producers, feels like everyone is trying to clone each other and take somebody else's signature sound and wave. And while Tyler may have
But that's, again, that has nothing to do with the artist. It's the climate of which we're living in. Let's say, for example, right? The artist creates, right? There's people behind the artist. So let's forget your boy for a second. Forget Doodle Ball for a second. Let's just say somebody else. There's people behind the people, and they're telling them what sells. So let's say somebody like Lil Nas X, right? Lil Nas X, he does his little flamer thing or whatever you want to call it, right? Before that, he did Old Town Road, right? So Old Town Road, he was considered a hip hop artist, but he was country. And that's becoming a big thing now. So the country artists, hip hop country artists, becoming a big thing. Everybody was pushing towards that. You had a bunch of artists who was trying to do that, even big artists trying to do that now. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't work, where they gonna go? What the next sound is, where it goes. That's how it goes. There's only a certain amount of artists who are creative enough to manipulate, and I hate to use the word manipulate. Not even manipulate, that's the wrong word I'm using. There's only a few artists that can actually capture their own sound and take the algorithm with them. So Kendrick Lamar is one, Eminem is another, Jay-Z, Nas, maybe Ross. I would throw your boy in there, Doodle Ball, Drake. These artists, well, Drake would be different. He would be different because he sometimes takes people's stuff. But those artists, they usually have their own wave. You know what I'm saying? Because they have their own sound, they have their own everything. So what Tyler is essentially saying is, he's basically saying like, well, all these artists, they're doing the same thing because they don't have no identity. You know what I'm saying? And then I understand you saying that that's a problem, but the people behind them are telling them this is what sells. So they're pushing that. So it's really not really the artist's fault. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that because they are the ones that, but it's really not. It's the climate, and also too, the listeners. The listeners have changed. The listeners don't really like complicated things like that. And for some people, they like TikTok rap. Or if you're not super creative, and if you are super creative, you still have to have some type of controversy or some type of catchy phrase with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the climate, and it's the people who behind the artist, and then it's the artist. So it's just not the artist.
Specifically targeted Ian for pretty much just being the definition of this cookie cutter mold of artist that is trying to take over right now. His point about all of this goes much further than just talking about how rappers stealing other rappers' sounds has never been worse, because as a result of artists pretty much not trying to be original, and then the fact of them copying things for dollars as opposed to creating art in directions that they are actually inspired by. This isn't just limiting creativity, but this low effort way of making music has translated into every single aspect of these new rappers' brands. As when it comes to
But this been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? This been going on for years. It's just a new way of approaching it. But there's been artists like Ice Spice. There's been artists like Ian and all of them. You know what I'm saying? I would argue that some of these dudes can actually rap. Jack Harlow can actually rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the other dude, but I know Jack Harlow can rap. You know what I'm saying? he can rap. So some of these dudes are actually pretty good with what they're doing. But I think it's unacceptable for certain hip hop stores or certain people in the position because they don't look at them the same way that they will look at another artist.
Translating this viral hype from algorithms into live performances that are supposed to captivate audiences. Tyler calls out the hip-hop landscape of today for delivering some of the most lousy and lazy performances of any cloth of musicians ever. And now somebody calling out the entirety of hip-hop for doing this on this level is really long overdue, because aside from the superstars who truly know how to command a stage like Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, and of course Tyler himself, the majority of current rappers' live shows are genuinely...
That's what I mean. You coming out with a blonde wig on, bro? You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm just not. If I seen you with a blonde wig on and you doing, I'm not listening to that. I'm not. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to it because I think it's a gimmick. So the same thing you're saying about these artists, you're doing the same thing too, just on a different, just differently. You go around with a blonde wig, you saying that you like you a fudge packer and you like Jalen Smith and all that. Come on, bro. You're doing the same thing. You ain't doing no different. You know what I mean?
Horrible, as from rapping over pre-recorded vocals, which is another aspect of performing that Tyler has been super critical about in the past, because it really just is a lazy crutch for most people who use it.
I mean, like, who knows? He could have a message in that song. Could be some remarkable shit. Who knows? But me looking from the outside in, as a hip hopster, I'm gonna see that and I'm gonna think it's a gimmick. That's exactly what I'm gonna see. So even if Tyler Creator says that it's like gimmick, and this could be the greatest song ever. This is what he's talking about. He's saying the same thing about other artists. But look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? Even if he is saying something that is worthwhile listening to, it looks like a gimmick. And that's what most hip hopsters are not going to listen to. So the same thing this man is saying about everybody else, they look at him the same way.
The fact that so many rappers performing don't bring any energy or interesting dynamic at their shows whatsoever. These live performances have become a direct extension of how devoid of life and identity that the music of so many of these new rappers have been putting out is, which now, even building more on Tyler's point about all of this, is a direct reason why hip-hop ticket sales are down across the board right now, and why more rappers...
I don't think hip-hop ticket sales are down because of them. I think people just... And I just think people just tired of it. And on top of that, I think people just want to see Kendrick and Drake. I'll be honest with you. Like, if Kendrick and Drake was to just battle, people wouldn't even listen to nobody else. I think that is for real. Like, I think they're that big. You know what I'm saying? The battle has left the music industry in shambles in a way, because it showed a level of artistry that most artists could never reach. You know what I'm saying?
Tours are flopping, and now bringing all of this together. Tyler's whole point about this was not to just criticize a lot of the new rappers out right now for being lousy musicians and really being nothing more than a disposable brand ambassador who is mimicking hip-hop, but instead, it was to illustrate the greater point that with all these musicians who do not care at all about their art, which is clear through not just the way they create their music, but through the way they conduct themselves and always spend all of their time...
Well, again, that's subjective. You can't really say that they don't care, because some artists actually, they feel as though this is what they do and people like it. So let's take Ice Spice, for example, right? Ice Spice does what she believes her fans is going to like, and she probably enjoy herself doing it. You can't push somebody like Ice Spice to be a Nas. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Ice Spice won't even be a Rhapsody. She will only be Ice Spice. And to be honest with you, you need an Ice Spice. You do. And I know people probably looking at me with three heads. You need an Ice Spice in the game because it shows you different levels of hip hop, different tiers. And then on top of that, let's be clear here. It's if you got rid of Ice Spice, and let's say everybody was that's like 9-5, right? Eking 9-5. There's gonna be somebody that you're gonna think is trash, even if they're really good. There's always gonna be a trash, and there's always gonna be a top. There's always gonna be a bottom and a top. So even if the top is a 10, the bottom is a 9, you're gonna make it feel like the bottom, or the bottom is gonna feel like he's a 1, even though he's a 9. That's how it goes. So Ice Spice is needed. You know what I'm saying? They need it. People like Doodle Ball, they need it. Because when the real artists, I hate to say it like that, I'm sorry. When the artists come with better artistry, you can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you can't just exclude people who like Ice Spice. Like, they like her, they like her. Like, that's just that.
In the limelight talking about any other ridiculous thing but the actual product they are promoting, which is of course the music. These rappers and the inherent values they are projecting have destroyed the worth of the actual music they are supposed to be known for putting out. And this has caused a downfall in the entire music industry, as from fans who can't even articulate why they dislike an album because the thing is made so haphazardly and treated so disposably, to the rappers who spend their marketing and press campaigns for music gossiping and talking about drama instead of convincing.
But all this is subjective. Like, I can't even say like basically you're saying like the fans, they can't tell the difference between good and bad. Like, that's not true. 99% of the fans know that Ice Spice is not a good rapper. They just like her. You could ask anybody. In fact, you could ask anybody, is Ice Spice a good rapper? They will say no, but I just like her music. If you say the same thing about Lil Baby or anybody, one dude said to me, I said, who's a better rapper, Kendrick or what's the dude, Lil Yachty? And he said, Kendrick, obviously. He said, but I just like Lil Yachty. I just like him. That's what it is. So it's not that people can't tell the difference. A lot of people know that these people are not good lyricists. They just, and another thing too that I don't understand, some of these dudes are not good lyricists, but y'all critique these other dudes too much. So for example, like, let's just say, use Eminem as an example. Niggas will turn into A&R and critique everything that Eminem does. Any bar he says, niggas will go down, oh, he said this, he said that, he said that. But then you ask them who they listening to. They're listening to somebody that's not even on the level of lyricism as Eminem. And they bumping that all day. And they said, well, the standards that they hold for people like Eminem, Kendrick, and a couple other people, the standard that they hold for them is so high that they can't make nothing average or corny. It has to be good. Everything they do has to be fire. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Or close to it. Has to be close to the sun as possible. But anything that they like, these dudes that they think is average, they could do whatever and people wouldn't care. But they do acknowledge that these dudes are better.
People why to actually care about the body of work they are putting out. Tyler brought up all of these points to slam the modern music industry and the direction it has been heading in, because as it stands, the value of the album is spiraling down a rabbit hole that it may never come back from. But this is not necessarily because people don't care about albums, because as we have seen, especially in rap this year, when the right people drop, they do create massive moments that people can actually pay attention to and have some sort of discourse about. But generally speaking, so many of the rappers occupying the mainstream landscape right now have tired out listeners and made them untrusting of the musical products they are putting out. And as this criticism is coming from...
And I don't agree with that either. I don't think that... All right, this is going to sound crazy. I want y'all to follow me on this one. The big artists in the game, every one of them, the popular ones, there's popular ones, but there's artists that are legendary and they're the biggest artists and they sell the most records are lyrical. Every one of the ones that sell the most records are lyrical. But you want to say Doodle Ball because people write his stuff, you put him on the side of that. Kendrick, Jay-Z, J. Cole, Eminem, Nas, Ross, all these dudes can rap. All these dudes can rap. They're the top selling, even if You got people who are Instagram famous because people like them. They don't like their music. They just like how they move. They like their pictures. They like all that. Even if you got people that have the most Spotify listeners, but if you look at how many albums they sold or the album sales, they're not doing good. But all the guys that I named, usually their album sales are through the roof or it's high. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the fact that, because people acknowledge that these people are not good. They just like them. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about their music. If they got a song, it's like one of your friends. That's how I feel about a lot of these people. They feel like it's one of your friends, right? One of your friends and then he put on his, I did this new song. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Gabby boo, gabby boo, gabby boo, gabby boo. Like, yeah, that's that shit, gabby boo. That's your friend. That's how I think a lot of these people look at Ice Spice and Sexy Red and all them. Like they relate to them because they like my girl. That's like one of my boys. You know what I'm saying? Doing a song. But if you ask him, man, my boy, he ain't even fire. You know what I mean? I like his music, but rap, he can't rap. I just like his song. Or I just like him. I think that's how it is. I didn't mean to go on a whole tangent, but good morning.
Somebody like Tyler, the Creator, whose last 3 albums have all been massive successes and arguably all classics in their own regard, as they have all solidified themselves as their own defining cultural moments. There could not be a better voice projecting this message, because Tyler is screaming at the music world to do one thing that so many rappers today don't even consider, which is just to care about what they are doing and appreciate the art that they make, because if they don't, nobody ever will. And in this world that we are starting to live in today, where most artists' album sales are dropping viciously, I mean, Tyler literally already proved his point in this interview as soon as he finished.
And another thing too, I think this is another huge problem with hip hop. Hip hop is, if we're going to talk about hip hop, let's talk about hip hop. It's not just mainstream. This is the reason why you guys are saying the things that y'all saying, because y'all looking in one place and y'all trying to put these artists on a level of people that are not good as writers. Like some of these artists, they're just not good as writers. So you can't put them in the same category or the same list. If we're talking about popular artists, yeah, okay, cool. But you're talking mainstream popular artists. There's so many other artists that are not mainstream or as popular that have way better music. And if you start championing them and start focusing on them, start making blogs about them, then maybe hip hop would have a little bit of a change going on. But if we're still talking about the same people as every 6 months, they stay interchangeable. Oh, hip hop is dying. Sexy Red. Oh, hip hop is dying. Ice Spice. Hip hop is dying. Jack Harlow. Hip hop is dying. It's like, they always interchangeable with these people. And obviously this is what you're going to get. But there's other artists who right here who are super fire and need to be pushed and need to be platformed, but nobody does it. And we just complain about these people that we know are not good.
Talking about all this because he told Maverick Carter that all of his negative comments are going to be the moments everyone clips up and talks about from this interview. Meanwhile, they will miss the context of why he made these points.
But you know that that's the truth. You know that they're going to do that. You know that they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that he did that though.
In the first place. And overall, the positive message Tyler is trying to have reach all of us through it, because while he may be putting other artists who are younger than him down, which may make him look like a hater and an old head, what Tyler is doing here is more respectable than anything else we have seen recently, because in this time where the actual idea of the music itself is being devalued and artists are just letting this happen without a care in the world. As the internet is trying to put the pieces together of what Tyler said, who he is calling out, and what he is trying to accomplish, as you understand that he is just trying to make a music world value the thing it was put in place to do. Instead of staying on this path where artists are making a mockery of the word hip-hop and are trying to destroy everything that was once sacred, the question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to join him? So now with all this said, let me know. What do you feel about all the drama Tyler, the Creator, has stirred up, and do you agree with him or not? I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this, and if you want to see why Lil Wayne has some serious beef with Drake that's about to
Yeah, make sure y'all go follow him. Fantastic hip hop. Yeah, so certain things I agree with, certain things I disagree with on there. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that you have, if you have a hand in it, you surely couldn't really say anything about it, even though you were creative. But the optics of it, most people, especially old heads, old hip hopsters, they don't listen. They look, then they listen. And if you looking and you seeing somebody with a blonde wig on, like nobody's gonna want to listen to you. Even though you could be saying the hottest thing. I ain't see, Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest rappers ever, and I seen some old heads be like, "Man, I ain't listening to that new shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, listen to that. Nah, he had the White House on the front of his album cover. Why would I want to hear that? You know what I'm saying? Like, anything could turn a person off. So, but I think some of the things that was what was said, that Tyler said, could be very important. You know what I'm saying? And it could be groundbreaking. It's not about the message. It's always, sometimes it's about who's the messenger. You know what I'm saying? And the messenger, if the messenger is fucked up, then the message definitely gonna get fucked up for some people. So either way, man, good morning to y'all. Y'all have yourself a good morning. 12 o'clock show's coming up, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for everything. Peace, y'all. Peace, bye.